This is Newkirk Redevelopment Precinct, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, sorry, bottom right-hand corner, as the yellow Zerg from CJ Entis, it's effOrt.
His opponent, a blue Protoss on the bottom left position. His name is Oz, playing for EG Liquid.
And he's a bit of a wizard, I'd have to say. I love, you know what image I'm talking about from Team Liquid, where he's sitting there looking pretty chill and he has got like the wizard hat on.
Well, if you're talking about Team Liquid and Wizard, the only person that I could think of is Rich. I'm sorry.
He's like a cyber wizard, man. Anything on a computer, he can make it happen.
I'm sorry, we know it's Pro League, we know Rich doesn't play in Pro League, but that's the only person that I could think of.
For good reason, man. It would be just too imbalanced if he was in here.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so it's going to be a Protoss versus Zerg matchup on Newkirk. And the last time we saw this matchup on this map, we did see a lot of mutas out. And I have also noticed that Zergs are trying to go for that mass muta style more recently against Protoss, especially if they don't opt to go for that mass air style.
Yeah, it's just time, what you call it, stopwatch. Well, not stopwatch, but a count timer.
A countdown.
Countdown. I'm stumbling left and right today.
Sand in the hourglass.
Sand in the hourglass. I think that's a perfect analogy for the Protoss players, because if they don't scout it, and if the Zerg players go for mass muta switch, they're just gonna die.
Unless they have like double Stargates
or
ready to, you know, upgrade a lot of Phoenixes.
Or like we saw from yesterday, mass Stalkers.
Well, Best had like 50 Stalkers out, and because Shine did really, it was Shine that he played, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because Shine really went heavy on the mutas, he completely committed to them. The mass blink Stalker strategy was able to work. It was still pretty close though. I would have felt a lot safer going for the mass Phoenix.
Oh yeah, definitely. But Best already had the Stalkers, and the key point in that match was that he was able to split up his units really well.
Now, actually, if we notice here, Oz opting to not go for a Nexus first build or Forge Nexus build. He actually he made a gateway inside his main base, and he's starting the wall off with his cybernetic score here. So, effOrt, this may kind of confuse him a little bit, but he is going to go ahead, get that extra third hatchery up there. So, that's pretty standard from the Zerg players nowadays, but those hatcheries did go up pretty darn fast.
Oh yeah, these Protoss players, they really like going for the earlier tech and just start slowly walling off at the natural. We've seen a variation of this before, where Bisu, actually, on Fighting Spirit, he went for one base expand and then throw down 2 gateways to wall off the natural with 1 hex left. We've even seen that on Neo Planet S by Protoss players. So, seems like some players, they like to go for this type of play where they get the Stalker out, they get the Mothership Core out, and they could deal against the Zerglings fine as long as they do not cheese or go for some early build like Sexpo, I guess. Well, even against Sexpo, you could get the Zealot out and, you know, a few probes out to defend against it. So, I have to say, it's pretty safe.
Alright, so it looks like we have that Nexus going down for our Protoss player. Also going for a pretty fast robotics as well. And I guess one of the big advantages of opening up Gateway first is that you have your Stalker out quicker, so the Zergs, they're not going to get as much scouting information on you. And with an early robotics like this, it makes me wonder, you know, is he going to go for some type of timing push here? Because, you know, the Warp Gate is actually almost done here. Not that I don't think the timing is going to be based around the Warp Gate, but, you know, it still feels like, you know, that early robo, it's definitely there for a reason.
Well, effOrt also cannot drone up heavily as he wanted to, because now he knows that his opponent prepared something. There's going to be really fast tech coming out by Oz, and effOrt doesn't know what it is, but nonetheless, he needs to prepare against it.
One thing I do want to point out, there is no Forge in this build. And generally, when we see the robotics, it oftentimes can lead to an Immortal all-in push. But with that push, you know, you generally see the Forge. And, you know, since there's no Forge here, maybe we won't be seeing some type of timing attack. Maybe Oz just wants to get the Observer out and do a lot of scouting fast. But hold that thought, we have an Immortal on the way here. So I beg to see that it's going to be some type of timing push.
Well, look at this. This might be a huge mind games from Oz, and I'm pretty sure he didn't prepare this far. But look what's happening right now. effOrt, because of seeing such early early tech from Oz. He's going for the Roach Warren, and it seems like he wants to pressure his opponent. I don't see any lair coming down by effOrt. In fact, this is a really early Roach Warren, and now he's going for the lair. So when the Roaches come out, the Immortals, he'll be perfectly fine against them. And a lot of these Zerg players on ladder nowadays, they go for the Roaches earlier than some of the other tech. We used to have the Roach Hydra composition or pure mutas, and nowadays players are going for the mass Roaches once again, because Protoss players, since it's part of the swarm and since we have different units, they really like to go for the fast Colossus, fast Void Race, and they have no answers against the early Roaches.
Yep. Exactly. So having to be careful against those early Roaches, definitely something on Oz's mind here. I'm actually curious, is he going to go for a Warp Prism? He's getting a third Immortal here, and I'm actually really surprised we're seeing so many Immortals and no +1 upgrade. I guess he just really wants to power through with those Immortals, and I'm really excited to see what his strategy is going to be behind this, because
he's going to push out.
Okay, he's getting 2 more gateways here, so he's going to have a total of 5 gateways, and he's going to have 3 Immortals as well.
Oh yeah, and the other indication is that he's not getting the support gas at the natural, which means that he's saving up a lot of minerals. Usually players would even get up to Mothership Core at this point, and he doesn't have it. Now, effOrt does scout what his opponent has. I think he did see the Immortal at the last second. He even sees a Robo inside the main base.
Yes, but it may be too late for effOrt, because Oz, he's already moving out across the map, uncontestedly putting down proxy pylons as well, and this Warp Prism is going to be able to join the main army. Uh-oh, there's some Zerglings out here, but I think there's just too many units here for Oz. They even have to worry about that paltry amount of Zerglings here, and yeah, they're going to have to go ahead and back off there. But now, effOrt, he needs to defend. He is at 57 drones right now, so he has decent saturation. He has to cut all drone production off if he wants to defend against this attack.
He's still at 56 drones, so he didn't go too far, but remember, the Oz is opening in this game. His tech was so early, so this timing push usually hits around, 10 minutes, 30 seconds. This is much earlier than the regular 7-gate Immortal push.
And effOrt is in clear panic mode right now, putting down 2 extra Spine Crawlers. And now with the sentries out, I think that Oz is ready to go for his attack here. It really is going to come down to control here. And Oz is moving in here, good force fields, trapping a lot of the units, and looking at excellent control with the Warp Prism there, and he's going to be able to use the Warping units as well. And I think this may just be too much for effOrt to deal with. He doesn't have enough units to deal with his firepower.
The Zerglings actually joining in late in the party behind from the back. The Zealots are taking care of the Zerglings really well. The Immortals are still alive and well. There's a ton of Hydras, but there's so many sentries for the force fields.
There are a lot of sentries here. There's still a good amount of Hydras and Roaches there, and now I feel like this attack, can effOrt hold it off here? I think he may be able to. Oz, he's out of here. The Warp Prism goes down. effOrt, amazingly, he is somehow able to hold this off, losing 21 workers, so now effOrt down to 37. But Oz, he has lost his entire army, and now he doesn't have a response for the Hydras and for the Zerglings.
Yes, if you try to analyze what happened there, Oz, he had a really strong push, really early push compared to other, the regular 7-gate Immortal push. But you also have to realize, in Heart of the Swarm, players like to go for the Hydra much faster, so he had the DPS, and Oz did not have any upgrades for the push.
Yes, lacking that +1, definitely not an ideal case here. Now, Oz, he essentially has to defend against this with only gateway units, and effOrt, is he going to go for it? I think he is. We have a Spire on the way as well, and drone production behind this, so do you think effOrt just wants to contain his opponent for now?
Definitely. I mean, there's no reason for him to go for a push and suicide all those units, because that's going to give his opponent a huge timing window to push out and go, try to kill effOrt once again. So all effOrt has to do is pressure his opponent and go into units. Now look what Oz has right now. He has a Robo. He's getting some sentries out. Those unit compositions, they're okay. Sometimes great with great force fields against Zergling, Hydras, and few Roaches. But against Mutas, the Immortals cannot attack air sentries. They don't deal that much DPS, and there aren't that many Stalkers. He's on 2 base economy, and usually to deal with the Mutas, you need a 3 base economy instead of 2, and also +1 armor.
Yeah, you're going to need something to deal with the Mutas here, whether it be Stargate tech or just a lot of gateway units and a good economy behind it. Now it looks like Oz scouting around the map with the hallucinated Phoenix there wants to make sure what's going on. But oh, look at this. We have a huge run by from effOrt here. This is something that he is certainly known for. And now there's going to be a lot of Zerglings in the main base and at the natural here. Things could not get any worse for our Protoss player. I feel on that Immortal, it's going to get surrounded and picked off quite fast here. And 11 mutas on the way as well.
Time is ticking for Oz. He is going for one final push, but that's only 4 Stalkers in the main army. That's only a few sentries, and once the mutas join the fight, this is going to be over.
Yeah, even Zergling's still in the main base of Oz here. He is just slowly starting to crumble apart. And with the mutas on the way, I think that may be the killing blow here. Even if Oz is somehow able to kill off the natural, I still feel like effOrt has a strong enough army to survive and win in a one-on-one engagement.
Oh yeah, in a base trade scenario against Zerg players, if Zerg has a muta, then Protoss cannot win.
Yeah, Oz looking defeated there. You know, he's just going for one last-ditch effort against effOrt here, but I don't think that will be enough. Even the drones and all of the spine crawlers, just I don't see there's anything he can do. effOrt attacking both bases at once here, and I think this is going to be it.
It is going to be it, but I'm still surprised that effOrt sent so many mutas to the natural instead of actually finding the main army. Granted, he does have the 2 queens, he does have few mutas, and GG.
GG, I love the concept for Oz's build. You know, he wanted to go for a really offbeat timing attack and really like just not even getting the forge, not going for the +1, trying to catch effOrt completely off guard. But you know, effOrt's defense, it was just too good.
The key point was that he was sitting on 56 drones and he didn't use the larva until he scouted what his opponent was doing, and that's so crucial. Some players, they just ignore it and they get up to 60 drones or 70 drones, and once the drones pop out, they realize, oh crap, there's 3 Immortals and 8 sentries at my base.
Alright guys, the score is currently tied 1-1 between CJ Entis and Evil Genius's Team Liquid. The next match, it's going to be Hero versus Hero.